Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today, we are at the edge of the Singapore shopping district, Orchard Road, to visit this place called the Singapore Botanic Gardens. We'll tell you some stories, we'll tell you some history. So let's get going and let's explore this place. This is the Singapore Botanic Gardens. It is one of 3 gardens and the only tropical garden to be honoured as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Not only that, it also received Michelin's 3-star rating in 2008. The Singapore Botanic Gardens was established in 1859 and is the oldest garden in Singapore. Besides being an ornamental and recreational garden, it is also a scientific garden in its early years. Currently, the garden's mission includes providing botanical and horticultural support for the nation's greening plans, being a center for plant and biodiversity research in the region, as well as a recreational and educational attraction. This whole Botanic Gardens is a 74-hectare garden. It played a pivotal role in the region's rubber trade boom in the early 20th century, when its first scientific director, Henry Nicholas Ridley, headed research into plant cultivation by perfecting the technique of rubber extraction, still used today, and promoting its economic value to planters in the region. Rubber output expanded rapidly. At its height in the 1920s, the Malayan Peninsula cornered half of the global latex production. Chickens! I don't know what's happening, but nowadays I've noticed that there are a lot of chickens everywhere. In every park there are chickens. Is there some kind of chicken conspiracy going around? One of the things I really like about this Singapore Botanic Gardens is the abundance of really old trees and really tall trees. Rainforest trees that you don't see anywhere else. Rain trees are from around the region, so it's very impressive, especially if you like trees. There's also a Swan Lake gazebo, which is a Victorian cast iron garden shelter. It was built in 1850s, and it finally found a home here after being moved from a few other places. The Swan Lake is a major attraction in the Singapore Botanic Gardens. It was formerly also known as the Main Lake or the First Lake. It was constructed in 1866, shortly after the garden's formation. It is considered the oldest ornamental water feature in Singapore. The lake covers an area of slightly less than 1.5 hectares with a depth of around 4 meters. The Swan Lake is named because of a pair of beautiful mute swans from Amsterdam that glides gracefully across the lake. As you can see in the lake itself, there's actually a pair of swans. Let's just enjoy them. It's just something about swans that is very calming, but I've heard that they can be vicious if you get too close to them. So enjoy viewing them from afar. Especially if you have a binoculars or a telescopic lens, that's better. The pond next to the Swan Lake, there's also another swan here. So I suspect that they may keep spare swans around just in case. Okay, so we are heading up to the Heritage Garden. As you can see, a lot of the park, especially this part, which is the heritage portion, they actually model the park like a European park. So you can see a lot of greenery everywhere. And of course, you also have gazebos like this, which are cast iron, which is very British or European, you know. So it's quite nice lah. So it gives a very nice classical character to the gardens. Okay, and also from here you can get a nice view of the Swan Lake. If let me get in front over here and just give you a show. But before that, let's just look at the excellent pillars for the gazebo. Very ornamental. And look, orchids too, right in the middle. Okay, we are heading to the Sundial Place, and surrounding the sundial, there is lotus flowers. Okay, and being a nice location here, there's actually a habitat of birds. If you can see them, look at that. These are the lotus flowers which haven't bloomed yet. Look at that, a dragonfly. And in the pond itself, there's also fishes. So it's a nice little ecosystem that we have here. Okay, as we are going down here, look at this tree here. Look at this tree, it's so tall. Wow. And there's some people here doing some maintenance work. But look at the tree. This is one of the... And look, a squirrel! 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 The octagonal gazebo, known as the bandstand, was erected in the 1930s and has retained its original form for over all these years. Initially, it was just a small hill, which was the highest point in this area, but the hill was actually leveled off around the 1860s to serve as the site for regimental bands to perform, surrounded by terrace flower beds and palms. Although no longer used for musical performances, it is a favorite wedding photo spot and an iconic landmark of the gardens. One thing you should note when you actually go onto the bandstand today, when you're in the bandstand, if you look around, there's actually a ring of yellow rain trees surrounding it. These rain trees usually has a light green foliage, but due to a mutation, some of the trees produced yellow leaves, and basically they actually plant these trees all around the gazebo to make a very unique environment and a very good place for you to take a wedding photo. So this is the first part of the Singapore Botanic Gardens adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to join me for my next adventure, which will be at this place again, but a different portion of it. So stay tuned, there will be more.